What if I told you that everything you know about learning English is only half true? That the real secret to fluency is hidden, not in books, not in grammar, not in vocabulary lists, but in stories, mistakes, silence, and something your brain has been trying to show you since childhood? Welcome back to English by QX podcast. I'm your host, and today I'm sharing a tale. A long, deep, unusual tale about a shortcut to English fluency that almost no one talks about. And trust me, once you hear this story, you'll never learn English the same way again. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Myth We All Believe. Most learners grow up believing one big myth. If I study more, I'll speak better. But think about this. Children who speak English fluently at age 5, how many grammar books do they use? How many worksheets do they complete? How many rules do they memorize? Zero. Absolutely zero. So clearly, studying is not the reason. Something else is happening. Something deeper. Something powerful. And today, we're diving into that something. Chapter 2. The Student Who Did Everything Right, but Still Failed. This story begins with a learner named Arun. Arun was the perfect student. Hardworking, disciplined, and determined. He memorized 3,000 vocabulary words, all 12 tenses, unconditionals, complex grammar structures. He watched English movies. He read English books. He solved practice sheets every night. But whenever he tried to speak, the same thing happened. His mind went blank. Words disappeared. Sentences broke. Confidence died. One day, frustrated, he told his teacher, "Understand everything, but I can't speak anything." His teacher didn't react. She simply smiled and asked one question. Arun, when you listen to English, do you listen like a student? Or like a human? Arun didn't understand. But that question became the beginning of his transformation. And maybe it will become the beginning of yours too. Chapter 3. The Secret of the Human Brain. Your brain does something fascinating. When you listen to English with pressure, it blocks the language. But when you listen with curiosity, it absorbs everything like a sponge. Here's the strange truth. Spannend. The brain hates studying, but loves stories. Stories activate emotion, memory, imagination, pattern recognition, natural fluency circuits. This is why you forget grammar lessons, but remember movies. You forget rules, but remember dialogues. Because stories enter the brain effortlessly. This podcast itself is built on that idea. You're learning right now, not by force, but by flow. Chapter 4. The 7-Minute Miracle Method. Let me tell you about Aaron again. His teacher gave him a strange task. For 30 days, do not study English. Only listen. 7 minutes, every day. That's all. Aaron thought it was silly, but he tried. For 7 minutes each day, I listened to English stories. I didn't try to understand everything. I didn't pause. I didn't translate. I didn't repeat. I just let the language wash over him. And something extraordinary happened. Around day 10, he started understanding more naturally. Around day 15, words began appearing in his mind without force. Around day 30, he started speaking in full sentences. Not perfect, but flowing. He was shocked. No studying, no memorizing. Just listening, and his fluency improved faster than ever. Chapter 5. The Science Behind the Magic. Scientists discovered something called passive pattern absorption. When you expose your brain to patterns, like English rhythm, tone, structure, your brain starts building language connections automatically. Think of it like learning music. You don't learn music by studying notes. You learn by listening. Language works the same way. That 7-minute method activates neural mirroring, speech rhythm mapping, the automatic grammar recognition, the accent tuning, subconscious vocabulary absorption. This explains why watching films helps more than memorizing lists. Your brain is learning even when you feel like you're doing nothing. Chapter 6. The Silence Secret. Here's something even more surprising. Silence improves fluency. Shocking, right? But silence is not empty. In silence, your brain organizes language. It rewrites the patterns you just heard. It strengthens memory. It finds confidence. This is why you get suddenly fluent. When you're alone in your room, your brain needs silence to process English. So after listening, take 1 minute of silence. Just breathe. Let the language settle. Chapter 7. The Dual Mirror Method. Here's a powerful technique successful learners use. Mirror 1, listening mirror. When a speaker talks, imagine a mirror in your mind. Their tone, rhythm, speed, all reflected in your imagination. No speaking required. Mirror 2, speaking mirror. Then you repeat, not perfectly, but with the same emotion, the same energy. This makes your speaking more natural, less textbook, more human. Try it with this line. I am learning English, and it's becoming easier every day. Say it slowly. Say it naturally. Feel the flow. Chapter 8. The Confidence Loop. Confidence is not a personality trait. It's a process. Here's the loop English learners fall into. Fear, silence, less practice, more fear. To break the loop, you need a new loop. Listening, understanding, small speaking, confidence, more speaking. This podcast episode is part of that loop. You're already changing your fluency. Chapter 9. The Mistake Story. Let me tell you a story about a girl named Lyra. Lyra wanted perfect English, perfect grammar, perfect accent. But because she wanted perfection, she never spoke. She was afraid of being wrong. One day, her English teacher said, "You're not failing because you make mistakes. You're failing because you're trying not to." That line hit her hard. She decided to try a new rule. I make 3 mistakes every day. That rule freed her. She spoke more. She laughed more. She learned faster. Because mistakes stopped being monsters and became teachers. Chapter 10. The Nightly Power Sentence. Before you sleep tonight, say this sentence. My English is growing, even when I don't see it. Because it's true. Every minute of listening, every story you hear, every quiet moment is building your fluency inside you. You just don't see it yet, but you will. Chapter 11. A Practical 24-Hour Plan. Here's what to do for the next 24 hours. 1. Listen for 7 minutes. Any English content, stories, podcasts, movies, this channel. 2. No pausing, no translating. Let the language flow. 3. 1 minute of silence. Allow the brain to process. 4. Speak one small line. Doesn't matter if it's simple. Say something. 5. 34 no. 5. Make one mistake. Celebrate it. It means you're learning. Do this for 30 days. Your fluency will change forever. You've just listened to one of the most powerful tales in language learning. The tale of how the human brain naturally learns English. If this story inspired you, imagine what the next episodes will do. Subscribe to English by QX Podcast, the podcast Tales, for more stories, secrets, experiments, and real-world methods that make English learning feel magical, natural, and effortless. Until next time, keep listening, keep growing, keep becoming the English speaker you were meant to be.